Vlad the Impaler, a tale of blood and brutality. In the annals of history, there are few figures as notorious and feared as Vlad the Impaler. Born in the 15th century, he ruled over Wallachia, a region in present-day Romania. Vlad's reign was marked by extreme violence and cruelty, earning him a fearsome reputation that would endure for centuries. Join us as we delve into the life and legacy of this enigmatic ruler, exploring the dark depths of his actions and the myths that surround his name. Early life. Vlad III, also known as Vlad Dracula, was born in 1431 in the Transylvanian town of Sighisoara. He was the second son of Vlad II Dracul, a member of the Order of the Dragon, a chivalric order dedicated to defending Christianity against the Ottoman Empire. As a child, Vlad and his younger brother Radu were taken hostage by the Ottoman Empire as a guarantee of their father's loyalty. This experience would leave an indelible mark on Vlad's psyche, shaping his future actions and driving his thirst for vengeance. Rise to power. After his release, Vlad returned to Wallachia and ascended to the throne in 1456. His reign was characterized by his relentless pursuit of power and his brutal methods of maintaining control. Vlad's primary objective was to defend his land from the encroaching Ottoman Empire, and he would stop at nothing to achieve this goal. He implemented strict laws and harsh punishments to enforce order and discipline among his subjects. The Reign of Terror. Vlad's methods of ruling were anything but conventional. He believed in ruling with an iron fist and instilling fear in his enemies. The most infamous of his methods was impalement, a gruesome and torturous form of execution. Vlad would impale his enemies on long, sharp stakes, leaving them to die slowly and agonizingly. This macabre spectacle would serve as a warning to anyone who dared to challenge his authority. But impalement was only one aspect of Vlad's reign of terror. He also employed other methods of execution to maintain control over his land. For instance, he would often order the boiling of his enemies alive, subjecting them to a horrific death. He was known to have impaled women and children as well, demonstrating his complete disregard for human life. Vlad's reign of terror extended beyond impalement. He would often employ psychological warfare, using fear and intimidation to maintain control. Vlad would place the impaled bodies of his enemies on display, creating forests of impaled victims that struck terror into the hearts of those who saw them. He would also employ other methods of execution, such as flaying, where the skin of his enemies would be peeled off while they were still alive, and even feeding his enemies to wild animals. One particularly gruesome tale of Vlad's brutality involves his encounter with a group of Ottoman emissaries. Upon their arrival, Vlad invited them to a feast. As they enjoyed their meal, Vlad suddenly accused them of spying and treachery. In a fit of rage, he ordered the impalement of the unsuspecting emissaries, their screams echoing through the halls of his castle. The sight of their impaled bodies shocked and terrified all who witnessed it. Another tale tells of Vlad's cunning and brutality during a siege of the city of Targovist. As the Ottoman forces closed in, Vlad devised a strategy to strike fear into their hearts. He ordered his own people, including women and children, to be dressed in their best attire and sent into battle. When the Ottomans broke through the ranks, they were met with a horrifying sight: the impaled bodies of Vlad's own subjects, victims of his twisted ploy. The sight was so horrifying that the Ottoman soldiers were demoralized, faltering in their advance. Such acts of terror were not limited to the battlefield. Vlad's methods of control extended to his own subjects. Any sign of disobedience or disloyalty was met with brutal consequences. He would often resort to impalement, flaying, and other forms of torture to maintain his grip on power. The mere mention of his name struck fear into the hearts of those who heard it, as they knew the consequences of crossing Vlad the Impaler. Vlad's reign of terror was not without its purpose. He saw himself as a defender of Christianity against the advancing Ottoman Empire, and he believed that his brutal methods were necessary to protect his land and his people. In his eyes, the end justified the means, no matter how horrifying those means may have been. Legacy and historical significance. Vlad's reign came to an end in 1476, when he was killed in battle against the Ottomans. While he may have perished, his legacy endured. Throughout the centuries, numerous stories, legends, and myths have been woven around his name, further obscuring the truth about his reign. Some view him as a national hero, a defender of Christianity against the Ottoman Empire. Others see him as a sadistic monster, responsible for the deaths of thousands. The true nature of Vlad the Impaler remains a subject of debate among historians. Furthermore, Vlad's impact on popular culture cannot be overstated. Countless books, movies, and artworks have been inspired by his blood-soaked legacy. He has become an enduring symbol of horror and fascination, representing the dark side of human nature and the depths to which power can corrupt. In recent years, efforts to separate fact from fiction and uncover the true nature of Vlad the Impaler have intensified. Historians have examined primary sources and archaeological evidence to gain a more accurate understanding of his reign. While the legends surrounding Vlad may be exaggerated, there is no denying the brutality and ruthlessness he displayed during his time in power. Final words. Vlad the Impaler's story continues to captivate and horrify, as we navigate the complex web of historical fact and legend that surrounds his name. From his early life as a hostage to his brutal reign and the enduring legacy he left behind, Vlad the Impaler's tale is a testament to the depths to which humanity can sink and the enduring fascination with the macabre. Through the exploration of his life and the unraveling of his myths, we can gain a deeper understanding of the human capacity for cruelty and the lasting impact it can have on our collective memory. The tales of Vlad's brutality serve as a chilling reminder of the horrors that can be unleashed when power is wielded without restraint. They stand as a cautionary tale, urging us to examine our own lust for power and the consequences that may follow in its wake. As we grapple with the legacy of Vlad the Impaler, let us remember the victims of his reign and strive to learn from the darkness of the past, in the hope of building a more just and compassionate future. While the legends surrounding Vlad may be exaggerated, there is no denying the brutality and ruthlessness he displayed during his time in power. It is important to critically analyze historical accounts, separating fact from fiction, to gain a more accurate understanding of his reign. By doing so, we can shed light on the complexities of his character and the historical context in which he operated. Vlad's reign of terror was not without its complexities and contradictions. While his methods were undeniably brutal, he also faced significant threats from the Ottoman Empire, which sought to expand its territory and suppress Christianity. Vlad saw himself as a defender of his people and the Christian faith, resorting to extreme measures to protect them. This perspective adds depth to the narrative of his reign, highlighting the complexities of power, survival, and the lengths to which individuals may go when faced with dire circumstances. As we reflect on Vlad the Impaler's life and legacy, it is crucial to remember the victims of his brutality. Countless lives were lost, and the impact of his reign was felt by many. It is through understanding the atrocities committed during this dark era that we can strive to prevent such horrors from being repeated in the future. Furthermore, Vlad's story serves as a reminder of the lasting power of myth and legend. Over the centuries, his image has been distorted and exaggerated, transforming him into a monstrous figure. Separating fact from fiction is a challenging endeavor, but it is essential in order to gain a more nuanced understanding of his reign and its impact. By critically examining historical sources and engaging in rigorous scholarship, we can unveil the truth behind the myths and legends that surround Vlad the Impaler. Vlad the Impaler's reign of blood and brutality continues to captivate our imagination and provoke debate. His extreme methods of ruling, including impalement and psychological warfare, have left an indelible mark on history. As we explore his life and legacy, let us strive to learn from the mistakes of the past and work towards building a more compassionate and just world. Through careful examination and critical analysis, we can gain a deeper understanding of the complexities of power, the consequences of unchecked violence, and the importance of preserving historical accuracy. Vlad the Impaler stands as a haunting reminder of humanity's capacity for both darkness and resilience, urging us to confront the darkest corners of our history and strive for a better future.